meeting of Speech Weavers Toastmasters Club, Bangalore. I'd like to start with the mission of Toastmasters Club. We provide a supportive and foster learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. For every Toastmasters meetings, we have a few guidelines to be followed. Please mute your phones. Please mute your mic if you are a non-speaker. I would like to request all speakers to refrain from talking about sex, religion, and politics to avoid hurting the sentiments of our audience. I'd also like to request everyone to turn on your videos to keep our speakers motivated. I request all guests to mention their names and club names in the chat window. And if you're a non-Toastmaster, just mention your name and guest. The main rule that we should all follow is we should not forget to have fun. I always love sharing a thought for the day. Let your unique awesomeness and positive energy inspire confidence in others. Wherever you go, no matter what the weather, always bring your own sunshine. Bring your own sunshine to your speeches. Bring your own sunshine to your personality when you're on screen at Toastmasters. Next, I'd like to talk about a person. He surprises us with his glamorous outfits, and he always adds some adventure in his addresses. Or he shares with us some beautiful stories from history. He's always running. Yes, he's running marathons. But during this lockdown, he was always running around all over the globe from his home, attending meetings, and he completed his distinguished Toastmaster journey during the lockdown. Right now, he is focusing on also making sure his beautiful daughter is studying. So he spends many hours a day committed to this. I was touched when he shared this personal information with me the other day when I spoke about my struggles to progress in my Toastmasters journey. He's a club mentor. He's an associate area director, program quality director of area B1. I'd like to invite our club president, distinguished Toastmaster Milind. Over to you.
Thank you, my brilliant Sergeant of Arms, Toastmaster Vandana. I am Milind Kulapkar. Speech Weavers meeting number 577 and open. Let's all give a round of applause for 1 minute. Let's clap. New Delhi, November 1947. Bapu, Pakistani raiders have sacked, pillaged, burned, looted, raped Muzaffarabad, Uri, Baramulla, and they are about to reach Srinagar airfield and the capital city. I, along with my troops, would be flown to Srinagar within few hours. I am the commander of the government of India to save Srinagar at all costs and evict Pakistani invaders. But are there any questions you would like to be answered? No, no questions. War are a curse to humanity. They are utterly senseless, but suffering and destruction. Bapu, I am a soldier and about to be engaged in battle in matter of hours. I am at a loss. Bapu, what do I do in Kashmir? You are going to protect innocent people. From destruction. To achieve that, you must naturally make full use of every means at your disposal. This was an excerpt from Lieutenant General L.P. Sen's book, Slender Was the Thread, Kashmir Confrontation, 1947-48. When Mahatma Gandhi had intelligence briefing from Lieutenant General L.P. Sen, who was to fly to Srinagar in November 1947 to combat Pakistani raiders. Toastmasters, ladies and gentlemen, in today's scenario, when borders of our Bharat are being continuously threatened, when our internal security is being endangered, when our economy is struggling, when our own mind is in turmoil, should we remain a mute spectacle or witness to these challenges? Or as a citizen or as a soldier of Bharat, follow those words of Gandhiji. Countrymen, time has come for us to stay focused and naturally make full use of every means at our disposal.
Milind sir, are you there? We lost you. Yes, you're back.
Let's move on. Would you like to learn something at today's meeting? The fastest way to learn is to have some fun. To have that fun quotient, we have a joke master all the way from South Mumbai Toastmasters Club, South Bombay Toastmasters Club, who makes fashion accessories in genuine leathers. He also teaches law as part-time lecturer. He loves reading and running. Please unmute yourself and welcome the joke master of the day, the distinguished Hasnain Changi.
Thank you very much, President Milind Kulabkar, for that wonderful introduction. Just a disclaimer before I start, all those who are not familiar with Mumbai trains, you all must come to Mumbai just to travel in those trains. They are so packed, sardines would feel comfortable in a tin can. I love Toastmasters. Sure, you learn public speaking and leadership skills at Toastmasters. But the one thing that you also go away with is a conviction that with a little bit of pruning and polishing, prodding and pushing, you too can become a far superior animal. Speaker after speaker, especially during contest season, will come up to the podium and say how easy it is to transform your life simply by transforming your thoughts, by having a rich vocabulary, a positive way of thinking. And so it becomes very easy for us to miraculously transform our lives. How do they do this? This by asking us silly questions like, are you pulling more and bending less? Have you eaten your sprouts first? Is there anything that anybody sees in you? After one such uplifting meeting, I decided that I would henceforth have a very good vocabulary and I would transform my life magically by thinking positively. So I went to the railway station and waited for the train. When the train came in, I was miraculously transported into the train by an obliging wave of humanity. I was positive. Immediately, I was submerged in a sea of stenches which emanated from every possible biological orifice. I was positive. When my railway station came in, I made a move to get out, but instantly I was thrown away and left on the platform like so much flotsam on the beach by a receding tide of commuters. I was disappointed. A lesser person would have called it a day, thrown in the towel, thought, let me give up this life, rolled over off the platform onto the path of a speeding train. But the words of Toastmaster Deepa rang out in my ears, saying, Hasnain, be like a proton, always positive, think positive. And so I collected my spectacles, my speech manual, and what little remained of my self-respect and headed towards the welcoming arms of my family. As I was ascending the last flight of stairs, I received a WhatsApp message from my wife, get 2 liters of milk and 1 bread. I replied immediately with an I love you too and sent in the image of a beating heart, positive thinking. With a mad flutter in my heart and a song on my lips, I raced to do my errands and I ran up the 7th flight of steps and rang the bell in many musical tones. My wife opened the door, I said, hi, sweetheart, and fell into her arms. When I regained consciousness, I was in a hospital. And a very fit-looking doctor was looking at me, reminded me very much of Toastmaster Milind. He was telling me that what you thought was a mad flutter in your heart was actually a mild heart attack. No cigarettes, no alcohol, no non-vegetarian food. And remember what Vandana said? Like a good Toastmaster, don't even think of politics, religion, or sex, whether impromptu or prepared. Then he said, keep smiling, you'll be fine, be like a proton, always positive. He went out, shut the door behind me. That time, ladies and gentlemen, the Toastmaster in me slunk out and the animal in me resurfaced. I took hold of a vase. With all the strength I could muster, I smashed it against the door. It shattered into 100 pieces. That felt nice. Very nice. Back to you, Presiding Officer, Toastmaster Milind.
Let's give a lot of applause to the joke master for his experience, sharing of his experience. There are a lot of lessons to be learned from you. You need to be, of course, they say, that in failures you learn a lot. Great job. Now it's time for the Toastmaster Day to make her entry. She has completed her 12 advanced communication gold speeches in a matter of 1 week. In fact, she was like those movie theaters. She used to give a speech in the morning show, afternoon show, evening show, night show, and maybe midnight shows, all across the globe, right from Pretoria, South Africa, to Malaysia, from Great Britain to America, from Kazakhstan to Ireland. Wherever she gave speeches, she left her mark by being the best speaker. Whatever role she does it with a grace, with charm and elegance. Please help me in welcoming the Toastmaster of the day, our Vice President Education, Toastmaster Deepa.
Thank you to DTM Milind for that, bringing back those memories fresh in my mind. Yes, I did around 40 speeches in 30 days and it felt kind of good. And now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the English vocabulary themed Speech Weavers Toastmasters meeting. And I have something very interesting to tell you. Did you know that When you were a 4-year-old child, until you reached your teens, you were learning around hundreds and hundreds of words every year. But suddenly, when you became an adult, things changed. You are learning approximately 25 to 50 words a day. That's a human average around the world. Ever wondered why? As children, we are always curious about the world around us. We hear a lot of words, we want to know what they are. But as we grow older, we have to make an effort to know more ideas, more words, and we tend to become lazy almost and not have the vigor to grab in and learn more words. Good evening, speech weavers, Toastmasters, and guests around the world who've joined us for this special meeting. Words are symbols of ideas, of concepts, and of information. Words are pictures, words are actions, and words are important to our lives. Why? Because just look at this. Look at the word nostalgia. As soon as you listen, most of you know what nostalgia is. Let's say for a second that you don't know the meaning of nostalgia. How would you describe that word? You would need around 7, at least 10 words to describe what nostalgia is. Well, when I saw that, I felt transported to my childhood and I felt very sentimental about it. So many words, and nostalgia replaced all of it. You became a quick thinker just because you know the word nostalgia, isn't it? Yes or no? Raise your hands. Yeah. So vocabulary, as you grow old, if you acquire more, it's basically a compression of complex ideas, a number of words, and you tend to think better and your intellectual capacities widen. And who says you're too old to learn new tricks? According to a research, this is published by an author called Norman, the author of Word Power Made Easy, Norman Lewis. Now he said, he's written that there's a research that was conducted that because we have a peak learning abilities until the age of 20. And then for 5 years, until 25 years, it stays steady. But then it does reduce a bit after you cross 25. But whether you're 60, whether you're 80, whether you're 40, that reduction never goes beyond 15%. Manageable, isn't it? Just 15% reduction. So what's stopping you? You have to learn new words every day. And here's what I do. I have these prepared. It has around, these are flashcards. All the digitally, interested, they can use flashcards online. And there is something called Anki cards. There's another app called flashcards itself. So you can write down any new word that you come across, write the meaning backside, and whenever you're free, just flip and see whether you remember. Active recall is the best way to remember new words. And what's another new way to help acquire new vocabulary? Etymology. Most of us know what etymology is, but probably don't know the term etymology itself. Now take the example of Magnus, magnanimous, magnitude, magnum opus, magnum. Every one of these words has the common root, Magnus. What is Magnus? Magnus is derived from a Latin root and it means large. Magnanimous means large-hearted. Magnate means somebody with large or great power. Magnify means make large. Magnitude, extent of largeness. Magnum opus is a large or huge literary work or artistic work. So that's just knowing one root, you can figure out the meaning, or you can guess the meaning. You can conjecture the meaning of several words. That is one method. And there is also a very other interesting way of learning new words, which is etymology again. But here, there's a whole new thing that's going on. You learn a new story. Do you know the story of narcissist? Narcissism. Anybody knows the meaning of narcissist? Can anybody unmute yourself and tell me the origin of the word narcissism?
It means someone who loves himself too much. Is that correct?
Is the origin related to Hitler?
Can you
Yeah.
come again?
Is the origin related to Hitler?
It is related. You can say he was a narcissist, but the origin is very interesting. There's a
Origin
story. Yeah, somebody
origin is
going there.
yeah, origin is from Greece and it was evolved in 18th century. And I think it was there when one of the artists actually said that he was actually loving for more of a person in terms of physical appearance rather than coming to the inner beauty. I think there was a discussion which went around. I think it evolved from Greece, and it was in the, I think it's in 18th century, and started developing more in the 19th century. That's what I know about narcissism.
Very, very close, DTM Shriram. You are very right. It's from Greece, but it's very ancient, the origins. In a literary work, there was this person called Narcissus, and there is another name. They call him Narcissus as well. So this guy, he was very handsome. And one day he went to a lake and he just went to fetch some water and he looked at his image. As soon as he saw his image in the water, he fell in love with his image itself. And he just stared and stared and stared at his image all until he died. So that is how much he loved himself. So that's the origin of narcissist. Another word, another story, everybody. Now this is about boycott, the word boycott. If anybody knows, can I get anybody to answer this? Does anybody know the origin of boycott? Otherwise, can somebody come up with the meaning of boycott? Boycott, come on guys, you all know.
Yeah.
So if we are talking about the meaning, I'm
Yes.
sorry, did I interrupt something?
Yes, go ahead. Tell me the meaning for.
So it's refusing use of a product or a service.
Yes,
That's
yes.
means by boycott. I don't know the
Yes,
origin.
protest, refuse. We boycotted British goods, right? Now the origin of this story is a name of a person itself. In the 18th century, there was a person called Charles Boycott, and he was a rent collector. He used to charge heavy rents for agricultural lands. The prices were so large at one time that farmers were fed up and they decided to protest and not let him inside. And so the term boycott. So it's very interesting, right? If you can learn complex words with similar stories. There are plenty of such stories. This is another way of learning new words. And I bet you will never forget this word in your whole life once you learn the story. Especially narcissists, you will remember this. All right. So with that, I think we'll need to proceed with the further. And for that, I would like to introduce a very special person who's going to be the general evaluator for this meeting. Our general evaluator for this meeting is by profession a business development manager for a startup which deals with VoIP services, voice over internet protocol. And he is the VP membership of our club. And also in the month of August, he won the Outstanding Toastmaster of the Month, because he was very proactive throughout the month with his participation in our meetings and external meetings and the like. He's a very determined guy, always wanting to improve himself to be the best version of himself. And I asked him one question: what was the last word you learned? And he said, the last word I learned was kerfuffle. Kerfuffle, anybody? I'll tell you the meaning. Kerfuffle is commotion or fuss. People arguing with each other. Remember Arnab Goswami's The Debate for this. Arnab Goswami's The Debate on The Debate is on Prime TV is a deliberate setup to create kerfuffle. That's the usage. So without further ado, may I invite on the virtual stage Toastmaster Mayur to take up control over the stage.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Deepa, for your amazing introduction of me. So, as a general evaluator, I will be evaluating whole meeting from starting to end, from essay address till evaluation. And for that, throughout the meeting, I will analyze good and bad usages. Are we doing well in the meeting by time, and all those things I will note down and I will give my report at the end. So to help me in this, I have tag team with me, so which will help me get the idea of time, counter and grammarian as well as listener. So I would like to invite my timer of the day, Nelson, Toastmaster Nelson.
Hello, good evening,
Please, the
everyone.
voice is yours.
Hello,
Yeah,
can you hear me?
go ahead, Nelson. Yes.
Good evening, everyone. I am the timer for this meeting. As a timer, my role is to keep track of the time taken by each speaker and role taker. The time limit for the prepared speech today is 5 to 7 minutes and 1 to 2 minutes for the table topic and speech and 2 to 3 minutes for the evaluation speech. At the minimum qualification time, I would be show the green card. At an intermediate time, I would show the amber card. When the time up, I will show the red card. Once that red flag is shown, the speaker has to conclude a speech in 30 seconds. I'll provide my report at the end of the meeting when the call go to general evaluator.
Thank you, timer Nelson, for your brief. And there will be 30 seconds of grace period for every speaker. And now I would like to invite Toastmaster Vinu, who is taking a counter role, to brief his role. Toastmaster
Thank
Vinu.
you. Thank you, Toastmaster General Evaluator Mayur. Good evening, my fellow Toastmasters and guests. Today I am playing the role of a counter, and the purpose of my role is to note down the words and usage of the crutch words, or I can say fillers, throughout your speech. So during this meeting, I will listen to the overused words such as and, well, but, so, and you know. These kind of words I will note down, and I will also listen for the filler words and also the connecting words. Generally, we will be using when we forget to continue the sentence, we will use these connecting words. So I will also note down when a speaker repeats the words or phrase, such as generally, actually, I mean, you know, such kind of words. So at the end of this meeting, I will report the number of times that each speaker used these expressions in their speech. This will be provided at the end of the meeting. So over to General Evaluator Toastmaster Mayu.
Thank you, Vinu, for your brief. Now I would like to invite our grammarian of the day, and she is Vandana, Toastmaster Vandana.
Thank you, General Evaluator Mayur. Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests. As the grammarian for today, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to all speakers. Listen carefully to their language usage, and I'll take note of any wrong usages or any outstanding words or quotes, or sayings or thoughts. As the grammarian, it is also my duty to introduce the word for today, which is also given to me by our wonderful Toastmaster of the day, Deepa. So the word for the day is cookie cutter. It's cookie hyphen cutter. It's an adjective and it means having the same configuration or look as many others of a given kind. It ideally means identical or rows of the same similar thing. It also means lacking individuality, stereotype, For example, a novel filled with cookie cutter characters. Another usage is too many cookie cutter villas were built with no attention to what the residents needed. So let's not be a cookie cutter and add some magic to our speeches. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Vandana, for your beautifully introducing grammarian role. Now I would like to invite our listener of the day, Toastmaster Sanchit.
Good evening, everyone. I'm going to be the listener for today. Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'm audible, right? Or more. I think Milind is indicating I need to be louder.
Okay.
Yeah? Okay.
I can.
As the listener for today, my job is to note down what and all people speak of in terms of what and all they say in terms of quotes or in terms of any instances in their lives. I'll give a keen ear to it, and I'll make sure that you all give a keen ear to it as well, as I'll quiz you at the end of my report. So just to give you a sample, let me just ask you all a question right away. So I'll ask you, what did the joke master say while climbing up the stairs? While climbing up the stairs, the joke master had got a call from his wife, and his wife asked him to buy 2 items. What were the 2 items?
Milk and bread.
2 liter milk and
2 liter?
1 bread.
Yeah, exactly. So you're doing a good job right away. And I hope to get more responses at the end of my report as well when I come back again. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sanchit, for giving me wonderful introduction of your roles. With this, I would like to give you again to Toastmaster of the day, and we will come back with meeting report at the end of the meeting. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day, Deepa.
Thank you, General Evaluator Toastmaster Mayur. It's now time for us to head to the prepared speech segment. People have prepared speeches, rehearsed them, edited them, and they're providing their final edition to us here. So all excited to hear that. We have a lineup of 3 speeches today. And our first speaker today is attempting his level 1, project 2, evaluation and feedback, speech 1. And to evaluate his speech, we have evaluator Toastmaster Ashwini with us. Toastmaster Ashwini, can you please read out the objectives and the purpose of his speech?
Good evening, everyone. Myself, Ashwini. Today, I'll be evaluating Mr. Sudhir, speech 1. The pathway is persuasive influence, level 1, project 2. Evaluation and feedback. Title of the speech is Inspiration. Now, Sudhir is a consultant at Zenov Management Consulting at Bangalore, and he's also the secretary of Zenov Toastmasters Club. The last word that Sudhir learned was invigorate, meaning energize. So he uses a simple app called which displays 1 new word every day, and in turn, it will increase 1 word in the word bank of everyone. So this is about Sudhir. Over to you, Toastmaster Deepa.
Ashwini, can you read out the objectives of the speech, please? That was my part, introducing him. You have received the evaluation sheet, right? What is the purpose of the speech?
The purpose of the speech, it's uplifting, stresses on the strengths, and points out the details when it comes to. Okay. I'm sorry if I'm missing on the objective of the speech, Ms. Deepa.
No problem, Ashwini. Just open the evaluation sheet. I will read out the objectives for now. So the objectives of our first speaker's speech is for the member to present a speech on any topic, receive feedback, and apply the feedback to his second speech. So timer, please note the time is 5 to 7 minutes. So Ashwini already introduced our speaker. He is from Zenov Toastmasters Club, and I asked him what was the last word he learned, and he said invigorate. So he's there now to invigorate us with his speech, which is called inspiration. Please give a big round of applause to our first speaker, Toastmaster Sudhir Gupta. Sudhir
Thank you,
Gupta,
everyone.
inspiration, inspiration, Sudhir Gupta.
Thank you, Tia Modi Deepa. Am I audible? Okay.
Yes.
So I'll go ahead. Two things that define you. One, your patience is something when you have nothing. Your patience is when you have nothing, and your attitude when you have everything. A quote by Louis Armstrong. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Now, why did I start with an expression on patience when my speech is titled Inspiration, right? I'll explain this afterwards. You see, a lot of folks around you, a lot of individuals around you are successful, but that doesn't mean that they inspire you. It's their stories that you relate with, their losses more than their success, the number of times they have got up, not the number of times they have fell. In that perspective, I admire and respect a person called Lee Chong-wei, a Malaysian badminton player. As a huge fan of sports and an avid badminton player, I started playing badminton in 2008. Little did I know, Summer Olympics were around the same time. I clearly remember asking my father for 20 rupees so that I can go to a nearby cafe and watch the badminton finals. Lee, who has reached finals of Beijing Olympics, raising hopes that he will bring the Malaysia's first gold medal. However, he was defeated by Lin Dan, who rallied the whole home fans with 2 straight victories. Contrary to my friend's opinion, who were the fan of aggressive strategist Lin Dan, I fell in love with Lee Chong's playstyle, his rallies, and the way he put on a fight on the court. I started following every one of his matches, whether it be Malaysian Open, Olympic Games, World Championships, anything. Heck, I even failed my math exams because I was busy watching my Malaysian semis. He had a stellar record. He got 350 weeks and was ranked #1 in the world. At his prime, he won 3 Olympic Games, 4 World Championships, and 1 Commonwealth Games. Now, these are all numbers that I admired him for, but they were never a catalyst for my inspiration. Now, when I go back and I relate to 2008 Olympics, the only thing I can recollect is him crying and standing on the podium with his head down. In 2012, when he again fought Lin Dan in the London Olympics, he lost. And the same happened in 2016 Rio de Olympics as well. Till date, he has never won a gold medal, a dream of every player in the world. He even lost 3 world championships before his first win. Imagine a racer reaching his finish line and losing by a hair's breadth. This itself can bear a person down for the rest of his life. And Lee sustained this for 8 years, from 2008 to 16. Now, okay. Okay. And now, if this doesn't sound bad, I have more. In 2015, he was allegedly accused of doping and swapped his rank from #1 to 180 within a span of 2 months. But to me personally, he was the coolest player on the ground. I saw the man getting rise up from the bottom. Not only did he recover his reputation, he regained his rank 1 within 1 year, wiping the floor with all his opponents. And one of the most memorable moment of all, he defeated Lin Dan in China Open 2015. Facing defeat head on and having the patience for the next opportunity to come. This is a saying we have seen in various books, but I got a chance to envision this in a man who incorporated this within himself. Later, after that, uh, later in a press release, it was told he was battling with cancer for the last 5 years. At that moment, my admiration for him turned into respect. His commitment towards sports and to play for his country was unparalleled. And this is just one example. We see so many folks around us who lit a fire under us to do something and be someone. And not only that, and these are someone for which you don't have to go down and look for. These are hidden like from the limelight. Your friends, your parents who pull you from every corner, and your rivals who push you beyond your limits. One such case study I can immediately pick up is our Toastmasters fraternity, who encourages you to be a good speaker and even a better listener. Lee Chong-wei was blessed with lightning fast reflexes and once held the record of the fastest smash in the world. Though he has retired, his passion for the sports still lingers in the national stadium and inspiring the youngsters for the decades to come. Thank you, everyone. Looking forward to my evaluation. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Sudeep, for that wonderful speech. And it was a brilliant second speech of yours in Pathways. Ladies and gentlemen, please give him a big round of applause as a mark of appreciation. Now it's time to head on to the next speech. In the next speech, the second speaker is from our club, which is Speech Weavers. He's attempting his level 2, project 2, which is connect with audience. And I request the evaluator for speaker 2, DTM Alicia Tay, all the way from One World Malaysia, Toastmasters Club Malaysia, to please read out the objectives of Toastmaster Joseph.
Okay. The objective. Joseph, the purpose of this project is for you to practice the skill needed to connect with an unfamiliar audience. Back to you, Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you to DTM Alicia. Timer, please note, time is 5 to 7 minutes. So our second speaker has been an expatriate in Saudi Arabia for 30 long years. He's a design engineer, and he was part of the desalination plants which helped Saudi Arabia become the highest consumer of water from the lowest consumer. 50 years ago, they were the lowest consumers of water. Now they're the highest consumers of water, all because of his desalination plants. And he's been involved in $20 million projects, which is a huge one. And currently, he's enjoying his retired life with his son, grandsons, with yoga classes, meditation, Toastmasters. He's globe-trotting these days. He's the secretary of our club, meticulously writes the minutes of the meeting. Today, he's giving a speech which is titled, Toastmaster Joseph, it is titled Nature's Gift to Man. Nature's Gift to Man, Toastmaster Joseph. Please give a big round of applause.
Oh God, give me everything to enjoy life. I have given you life to enjoy everything. It's very right. Look at the creation. It's beautiful in its pure form. Look at the trees, the fruits that it supplies to human being for good health. Now, in the earlier days, man cling to the nature, and in turn, nature nurtured him. That is how man could live 800 to 1,000 years without any disease, without any sufferings. Now, how come this happened? There is one thing, the divine authority has reduced the time limit of the years to 120. I'm not going to talk about that subject, but within this short span of life, 120 years, how man could live with twists and turns in all such sufferings and this and that. Yes, he's also greedy. Why? The 21st century has invented many things, many inventions, so he can destroy the nature. He wants a shortcut way of doing everything, genetically modified, right from cultivation to milking the cow, right from growing the vegetable to brooding the chicken. Now what happened? The malnutrition is the result of all these activities. Number of diseases gone high. Doctors were confused. They were never known, man was not known to about these diseases which have come up today. The doctors tried to put antibiotics or some other medicines have been invented. To some it will agree, many it will be fatal. Now the vaccines was invented for all the viruses. So what happened? By the time it comes into the market, by the time it admitted to the people, there's another virus coming out before this could die. Then invent another vaccine. So this is the struggle that doctors do, and it continues to be like that. So what do you do? I ask the audience, what do you do? Change. Now, one more thing you can see, the cancer is prevailing everywhere, all over the world, and people are dying also. What is the reason? The chemotherapy and the radiation triggers a side effect. So you become sightless, visionless, hair loss, memory loss, short life, instant death. That is what the cancer does. So what you and I have to do, think of it. You have to live a life. Come out of the worldly pleasure. Seek heavenly bliss. Reduce your desires from lust and pleasure. Seek always the nature's gift, and you are supposed to live a stress-free life. How? Quench your anger. Lead a normal life. Humility is a sign of good health. Gluttonous, increase obesity, increase glucose level, increase blood pressure, leading to heart disease. One of the doctors, the cardiologist, told me, you have to tune your heart when you are young. You thrust your bakery food, dairy food into your siblings, and the later part of the life, he gets a heart disease. So, this is very bad. Audience, what you will do? You cannot just watch this one. You have to come out with something. Change the motto of life. See that you eat the nature's organic food. The organic food should be the natural supply of everything, fruits, vegetables, and everything that you have to supply. Therefore, stick to that one. After all, we have to live in this world a very stress-free life so that we can have a happy-go life. Now what you do, check yourself where you stand in your, do morning exercise, that is stress-free life. Don't work hard too much for the greediness of money. Reduce your working hours. Have good sleep. Then later on, you will find your body is responding in a very good way. Now, what is life? Life is birth to death, B to D. What is C? In between B and D is a choice. This is the C is the choice of life. You choose your choice. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Toastmaster Joseph, I must say you were a revelation this time. Not only did he stand up, and not only was he so expressive with his voice and gestures, I mean, I'm totally surprised, and you've taken us all by surprise. Toastmaster Joseph is setting benchmarks for octogenarians around the world in style and energy. Big round of applause to Toastmaster Joseph. Now, let's head on to the third speaker, the third speech. Our third speaker is attempting level 1, project 2, second speech. That is evaluation and feedback, speech 2. To evaluate the speaker, we have with us an evaluator who's coming all the way from Chennai, DTM Sriram. DTM Sriram, can we get you to read the objectives of speech 3, sorry.
Sure. Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day. So the speaker is going to attempt, as said by the Toastmaster of the Day, evaluation and feedback, second speech. So what does it mean? It is actually that the speaker has got the evaluation and feedback from his or her first project, and she will be implementing those recommendations into her second speech today. So the purpose goes like this: is to present any topic, to present a speech on any topic, receive feedback and apply the feedback to the second speech. And the member can choose his or her own style, and the style of the speech can be informational or humorous or whatever it chooses. So the main objective is to receive the feedback and implement them, and receive the feedback today, and also check whether the feedback which was given by the first evaluator is also been implemented over here. So that would be the project objective. And timer, the time limit is 5 to 7 minutes, 5 for green, 6 for amber, 7 red, 30 seconds grace time for the speaker to wrap up a speech. There are few notes for the evaluation which I'll be taking care during my evaluation. With this, all the best, speaker. Over to Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, DTM Sriram. You couldn't have been more clearer. And now it is time for me to introduce our third speaker. Our third speaker is again, now we have speakers from all over the world, and this person is from Singapore. And she is a chartered accountant by profession, but by passion, she's a Kathak dancer. And I asked her, what was the last quirky word or unusual word that she learned last time? And she said it was serendipity. Remember Ferzi Gutwako's meeting every speech weavers? That's the word I mentioned as well. Serendipity means accidental good fortune. So today we serendipitously get to meet Ramanpreet all the way from Singapore. Please welcome her on stage with a big round of applause. Ramanpreet, the title of the speech is Look at the bright things in life. Look at the bright things in life, Toastmaster Ramanpreet.
Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, you are. Yes, you are audible.
Am I visible?
Yes, you are.
Have you ever wondered why some people are so happy always? Or let me rephrase. Have you met somebody in your life by meeting or by looking at whom you have wondered, what has this person got? Why is he or she so happy always? And have you ever thought that I want to live my life beautifully and full of satisfaction? Toastmaster of the evening, club president, fellow Toastmasters. A very warm and hearty good evening to all of you. Certainly, I know of one such lady here in Singapore, who is the mother of a fellow dance student in Singapore Indian Fine Arts Society. She always comes across as happy, ever smiling, ever loving, ever best dressed, and ever helping. And I've always wondered how is that possible? I spent years, almost all my life, thinking about the day my parents, my siblings, my friends, my kids, my husband, all will be happy. I will be able to spend my whole day, my perfect day, working without any worries, and then only I'll be happy. And these thoughts made me so unhappy and unfulfilled. The perfect life always just seemed out of reach. But self-realization and self-practice and few of life's experiences made me learn a lot about myself. And some lessons learned from others. An example of that is that lady. How people become happy and how we can live enthusiastic, perfectly imperfect life in such an easy way. A beautiful life does not just happen. It is built daily by prayer, by humility, sacrifice, and hard work. The day I started keeping a positive attitude in every situation, I have been able to handle my stress. Now I try to keep my mind clean, free of any negative baggage, free of any hate, free of any fears. And I try and make space for more productive, more creative, and more innovative ideas to come in. It's so easy to recognize your shortcomings. But friends, don't forget to recognize your talents and strength. I know that I'm emotional, very anxious and stubborn. But I know that I am optimistic, cheerful and confident woman who knows how to get back to that joyful, jubilant and contented zone again. Looking for opportunity in difficulty expands your vision and bolsters possibility and creativity. Just remain resilient in the face of rejection and self-doubt, condition we all face at some point. Throw your arms open to critical feedback and use it to grow, strengthen, and enrich your life. Tell yourself that setbacks are not the end of the story. They are just an opportunity to learn, grow, and don't look back. Another advice, the words uttered by your mouth, they will not come back. All of us have become very impatient in life these days. So just hold your tongue. Think twice before you speak. Let no unwholesome word come out of your mouth. Be conscious, aware, and present in all of your senses. I'm sure all of you will agree with me that at some point in life, most of us actually keep on dwelling on the past or be anxious or worry about the future, especially in this COVID-19 days. Quite often we put so huge expectations on ourselves and our lives. We rush to do that. We hurry up with this without actually enjoying the process. What is the rush? And think about where we are at. We are probably missing the point. Instead, when we appreciate each moment and garner the lessons from it, we live consciously, purposefully, and responsibly. Just think of how to celebrate small joys. Think of how to listen without responding. Think of how to be okay by not knowing everything. Feel your feelings, and finally think of how to balance between flowing and planning. As you live your life, remind yourself, slow down, pay attention, don't get ahead of yourself. Focus less on evaluation and more on your actual experience. Life is too precious to waste. And evaluating ourselves, we can live more fully by paying attention to our senses and being willing to feel what we are actually experiencing at any given amount of time. So relax, breathe, let go, and live in the moment. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ramanpreet. I couldn't help but notice the vocal variety and your excellent use of pauses. Brilliant speech, and a big round of applause to you as well. And now we're going to head to the table topic session, one of the most anticipated, interesting sessions in a Toastmasters cookie cutter meeting. And for hosting this session, we have as table topics master a very special person. He is currently the treasurer of our club. He's been at Speech Fever for more than a year, and professionally he's the manager at HSBC Bank as at the Department of Financial Analytics. And I asked him a question, as I asked everybody else, what he does to increase his vocabulary. And for those who don't know, Ashwin is an alumnus of two prestigious institutes, IIT and IIM. So invariably, he has written his CAT exam. And invariably, his vocabulary has to be top-notch because of the kind of questions that come in the verbal section of the exam. So I did ask him, what did he do to prepare for that exam? And he said it was all coaching classes. And I read Word Power Made Easy by Norman Lewis, but then it all evaporated away. And he said that his current new word that he's come across is petrichor. Petrichor, anybody? Any guesses what petrichor is?
I think it's
The smell of when it rains. The first smell of raining.
Yes.
Season.
So a brilliant compression of ideas. You don't have to tell it when it rains, you get a smell, and that smell is, that smell. You just tell petrichor and you instantly understand what it is. Petrichor is the first, earthy smell that you get after the rains. So now, without further ado, let me hand over the control to our wonderful Toastmaster Ashwin.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Deepa, for that wonderful introduction. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, a very good evening to all of you. So, Toastmasters, this table topic session is specifically designed to develop our essential communication skills. So particularly if I divide into 4 skills: listening, thinking, organizing, and speaking. And all of this, we have to do it within 2 minutes. So for the benefit of guests, I can see that there are a lot of guests over here. So for benefit of guests, I'll just explain the rules of this session. So it's kind of fairly very short. A table topic is given to the speaker, and he has to speak for 1 to 2 minutes. There will be at 1 minute, the timer would show the green card. At 1.5 minutes, he'll show the amber card, and at 2 minutes, the timer will show a red card. And there is a additional 30-second grace period within which the speaker has to stop speaking. So are we on the same page? Yes, no? Okay, so if somebody has not heard the phrase, are we on the same page? Would anybody would be able to recognize that we are not talking about the books? No, right? So this is what we have in this session. Basically, we have some common phrases in English, which can be, it's also called idioms, where you can use it not just with the literal meanings, but you can use it in some other ways as well. So let's not be the cookie cutter and use your imaginations to have your versions of the phrase. Any guess for, or any volunteers for the first round?
Yeah, I would like to go.
May I know who's speaking?
I am I am guest Ayush.
Ayush. Hi, Ayush. Okay, so your topic is, you can't judge a book by its cover. You can't judge a book by its cover. Ayush, over to you.
Okay, so I will start with the literal meaning of the phrase. You can't judge a book by its cover. So it basically means that you can't judge someone or something by how he looks, or by the appearance of that person or thing. It is like you should first you should test you should test you should test that person first, or that thing, and then you should make your judgment. If I give my own example, like whenever I come on stage, or like whenever I'm about to speak, like people who don't know me, they think that he's a brilliant speaker, or like he speaks really well. But in reality, like nobody knows that I have a stutter, or like he will stutter. Like, so yeah, like we don't get to know the person in the first meeting, or like in the first level, but like after frequent meetings with that person or thing, we get to know about that. Get to know about him or her. So yeah, so so that is all from my side. Thank you.
Thank you, Ayush. Thank you for jumping in and taking the first, coming in as a first volunteer. A big round of applause. Okay, so do we have any other volunteers?
Yep, Saurav.
Hello, Saurabh.
Hello.
Your topic is fortune favors the bold.
Okay.
Fortune favors the bold.
Okay. My topic is fortune favors the bold. So this is absolutely truth, because if you don't take action and just wait for the opportunity, then it is being difficult. Because for me also, I have a stutter, but even if I have a stutter, I always try to speak because it is the speaking that matters. And after that, speaking gave us the confidence to be able to say what we want to say. We have seen that many like in terms of sportsmen also, like they always try to give the 100%. The reason because they give 100% is that they know that their mindset need to be strong, and for mindset to need to be strong they have to give 100%. They always try, they always do the thing. So so I have to like think like a sportsman. Even even the day that I might not able to speak or I might not like to speak, I have to speak because for the tough mentality, for the tough mindset, I do need to speak. Thank you. Fortune favor the brave. Thank you.
Thank you, Saurabh. Thank you for being bold and taking up the opportunity. A good round of applause. Do we have other volunteers? Or shall I pick somebody from the list? Okay, so let me pick somebody. Rupeksha, are you there?
Yes, I'm there.
Okay,
But I'm facing a lot of network issues, so I hope let's yeah, tell me.
okay,
I was
sure.
just fixing that and I just got back like a
You
second
can
back.
hear you. You can go ahead.
We can hear you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, your topic is a storm in a teacup.
A storm in
a teacup.
Storm in a teacup. Okay.
A storm in a teacup. Over to you, Rupeksha.
Today morning when I woke up and looked across my tea, I felt as if there was a storm. There was something um, there was something going within my teacup. Was it a dream or was it something actually happening? I took a moment, looked back, again looked forward, and took a deep glance at my teacup. I saw some kind of soapy water running over it. Sometimes it looked like a wave, sometimes it was like a storm. And I've been trying to look closer and closer to figure out what exactly was it going with my teacup. Was it the tea or it was a shore? I was really confused and I thought for a moment that was it a dream or was it a reality? Then suddenly I saw something leaking as if the water is coming out from the teacup. And I was shocked and also scared to know what exactly is going around with my teacup. And later I noticed that it was not a storm, but it was a dream wherein I was washing my teacup in my wash basin. So over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Rupeksha, for that wonderful attempt. Thank you. And do we have... Okay, so Toastmaster Vinu, would you like to go next? Toastmaster
Yes,
Vinu?
Sachin. Yes,
Yeah,
Sachin.
sure. Okay, so Toastmaster Vinu, your topic is calm before the storm. I'm putting it in the chat box. Calm before the storm, Toastmaster Vinu.
calm before the storm. Whenever the storm comes, I will be calm because I am very much afraid of the storm, and and I am the person who is always make noise when I am with my friends. But whenever I see the storm, without my notice, I will becoming calm, and also even my friends or my family members, they will be say whenever I'm making fun of them or I am talking too much, they will be showing me an virtual storm in their mobiles or that, to make me calm. That is the weapon they will be using on me. Uh, yes, Sachin, over to you.
Thank you, Vinu. Thank you. Thank you for your perspective on that. Just wanted to take a quick time check over here. So we are at 6:15, 6:16 right now. Just wanted to check whether we can take one more topic or.
We need to wrap up, I think. So
Okay, then. Okay, then we'll stop this session over here. The table topics comes to an end, and thanks all for participating in the session. I loved giving you the topics, and I loved hearing you. I hope you also enjoyed speaking impromptu. That's all from my side, and over to you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Deepa.
Thank you to Table Topics Master, Toastmaster Ashwin. That was a wonderful set of topics in total alignment with the theme. Thank you for bringing out some creative uses of idioms as well. And now it's time for the evaluation, the great evaluation, which is going to be headed by our general evaluator. General evaluator Mayur, may I have you on stage, please?
Thank you, Toastmaster Deepa, for inviting me again. So to help me, I have my first. So we have amazing speeches, all three amazing speeches, and table topic by Toastmaster Ashwin. And we were moving around in the vocabulary. So like it's like swimming with the words. Now I would like to invite our first speaker evaluator, of Sudhir. Could you give his evaluation?
Good evening, everyone. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Right. Thank you.
Ashwini, go ahead.
Yeah. Sudhir, it was a great start. I really like the way you have chosen the topic. It's very challenging to take up and speak about any champions or any famous personalities in 5 to 6 minutes. It's really challenging. You've done a great job. You stayed calm. You stayed calm throughout. You had that smile on your face. You did not lose your confidence even when you paused and then you forgot few lines, and then it is still good. You came back, with your speech. That was really nice. There were few words that you used. Little did I know, unparalleled, and couple of other words. The usage of vocabulary was good, and it was nice to know that you yourself, you are a sports person. That's really nice. And the way you admire the sports, not just the winners always, the way you related how consistency is very important, not just the winning part of it, even the failures. That is really admirable. Now coming to areas of improvement, yes, I have made couple of notes. now when we are talking about the career statistics of any achievers and their milestones, it is very important that we stress on their achievements, whether it is years, on which year, what had happened, what they had achieved, or the number of achievements. For example, 3 Olympic games that was won, and 4 world champions, and 1 Commonwealth championship. So we got to probably stress or do some voice modulation or pause to ensure that the listeners would register these data. That was one thing. Even when we spoke about the years also, you should have done it, is just my opinion. And to begin with, you spoke about, you said, although my speech was about inspiration, but you started with patience. And then you told the listener that you would come back to it, why you started with patience. Probably when we start giving a hope in the beginning of the speech, at the end, we need to touch upon that, because you said you'll come back to that later. Why? A little stress on that. And the clarity in your few words like following or badminton, such words, there was a little less clarity when you spoke those words. And grammatical errors, Lee, who has reached finals. So when you're talking about the past tense, who had reached finals. So a bit of grammatical errors. Contrary to my friend's opinion, that should have started with in contrary to my friend's opinion. These of words. And you also spoke that the sports person was allegedly accused for something that was again not very clear. Accused for what? That particular word was not clear. So apart from this, definitely a great start. Thank you. Looking forward to hear more. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ashwini, for your analysis of the speech of Toastmaster Sudhir. Now I would like to move ahead to our second speaker evaluation, and it will be evaluated by Alicia Tay, Toastmaster Alicia Tay.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Joseph, I could hear that your heart wept. You were weeping about all this situation going on in the world. And you were calling people to wake up. Remember those days with the nature. People were healthy, no disease. Now the world has been destroyed by all the man-made doing. Even the vaccine cannot catch up with the virus, the spread of the virus. You ended by asking, what is life? You were calling people to realize, and you kind of say that, in fact, you make your own choice. I do agree with you, and I share your heart. Joseph, I'm not sure if you have read the entire manual. I know most people are counting on just the evaluations sheet, or they just read the objective of the speech. I truly encourage you and everyone, read the entire manual. Because if you read the entire manual, you will find extra information, extra requirement, such as it says that you should tailor your message. I think you did. Then he said, what you want your audience to gain. I did not hear that. List your expectation. I did not hear that. Share your desired outcome. I also did not hear that. Explain your intention and reason. I did not hear it clearly. Not clear, even though I suggest probably you you want to say something like, maybe I think your intention is to create awareness so that you can save more life. This could be your intention. This is how I feel, but it's not clear. And how, last but not least, is asked how the audience will benefit from your information. This is also not clear. You say I think if you say it this way, it will be clearer, such as, if you choose wisely, then what? Because you say you make your own choice, but you didn't say how to make a good choice. You would I think you need to say something like this, then people can be benefited from your information. Certainly you have a good message, a good heart, there's no doubt. And your eyes not looking at the camera, I'm not sure if you're looking at the notes. But if you did, that's okay. I can understand, but challenge yourself next time. Don't look at the notes. Okay? Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Alicia, for your splendidly evaluating Toastmaster Joseph. With this, I would like to move to the third speaker evaluation, evaluated by DTM Sriram. Over to you, DTM Sriram.
Thank you, General Evaluator Mayur. So I'm audible and visible?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Always see the brighter side of the life. Toastmaster Ramanpreet, I'm not sure whether you are Ravi Shankar ji or Sadhguru, because today I could clearly see, or I believe that you are a great inspirer and a spiritual speaker as well. And if and all friends, if you are feeling any time, any dull moments in life, just give her a call. She will be there to motivate you and look at the brighter side of the pain where you are. First, the things which I really loved in your speech, number one, you satisfy the project objectives. Your first evaluator feedback was usage of virtual background, which today you didn't do it. And your positioning of yourself, I think today you had a very good position, and I could see your hand gestures, your facial expression and everything. So in that way, you satisfy the project objectives. Second thing which I really loved in your speech was, your speech was like a hammer today. Each and every hit, dung, dung, there was a message to us. For example, one hit, look, focus on your, don't focus on your evaluation, rather focus on your experience. Another hit, dung, balance between flowing and balancing. No, you had for each and every hit, you had a message for us. So it was like a full WhatsApp forward messages I received in one day, and each day I can forward each day good morning message as well. And third, the incatenation of your speech was the effective usages of pauses and pitch. They say musics are derived from notes, and emotions are very well derived from the effective pauses which you use. And today you used it brilliantly. For example, I take the same sentence. Don't focus less on evaluation and rather focus more on experience. You know, the pause you had between saying the word evaluation and experience, that made me realize good. And also the pitch when you said evaluation and experience, you raised a little bit of variety on that. That way it had an impact on me. If I want to say that, yes, always you can't look at the brighter side. There are always few sides which will require more light. So here comes my recommendation for you. Number one, I said your speech was like a hammer. Yes, that was the problem, because it was hit after hit after hit after hit continuously. After some time, I could see that your speech was like more of a preaching rather than reaching us. There are too many points and points after point. For some point of time, I felt a little bit disconnected. Why it is stressing? So rather, if you could have concentrated on one particular point, like either how to balance your life between flowing and balancing, or focus on your experience rather than evaluation. So if you could have curtailed yourself to 1 or 2 points, then it would have been reached as more effectively. And number two is that the best way to connect with your audience is sharing your personal story, because we are here to listen to your personal story. Now, what challenges you faced in your personal story? if you could have added any story of yours whenever you said that, yes, focus more on experience rather than evaluation. Now you could clearly give two experience in your life where you had experience and focus, and then how did you transform yourself. So a personal story from you, a personal example from you would have added more value to this. And at last, the climax. You said all the points and you just ended it away, but you didn't give me a room that which an audience I need to take away from your speech. Yes, always focus on brighter side, but now when you compare it with the darker side, what things would happen in your life and what I need to specifically focus on was missing in your speech. So altogether, to summarize, a very wonderful speech. You satisfied your project objectives. Messages were clear. You had an effective usage of pauses and pitch. But if you could polish your content by adding your more personal examples and more challenges and having an effective conclusion, I think tomorrow I will definitely reach out to you, because right now I am a little bit dull, not because I've given a bad evaluation, but I am facing a little bit dull, and I'll be there to call you and please give me motivation. You are the next motivation star and waiting for you to be the keynote speaker in our next international conference. Over to General Evaluator.
Thank you, DT and Sriram, for wonderfully explaining what she can work on and where she excelled. With this, now I would like to move to our tag team to give their report, and I would like to invite our timer of the day, Toastmaster Nelson, to give his report. Toastmaster Nelson, are you there? I think he is not here. So let's move to the counter of the day, Toastmaster Vinu, to give his report.
Thank you, General Evaluator Mayur. So here is my report on our counter. So today my keyboard played the role of scoreboard of our counter. And our T-mode Deepa, she has used or beyond 10 times and more than 6 times. And our general evaluator Mayur used. I'm hearing some external sound. My voice is audible, right? Hello.
Yes, Vinu, go ahead.
Okay. And our timer Nelson has used 3 times, and our grammarian Vandana has very less usage of filler words. She used only 2 times. And our listener Sanchit, he has used 7 times and 2 times. And our speaker evaluator, first speaker evaluator Ashwini, she crossed beyond 10 times the and she used that couple of times. She repeated that word. And the first speaker Sudhir Gupta, he has used 9 times coming to our next speaker evaluator Alicia, she has used only 1 time in her entire speech. And coming to our second speaker Joseph sir, he has used only 1 time. Apart from that, there is no usage of filler words. And our speaker evaluator number 3 Sriram, he has used 1 time. And coming to our third speaker Raman Preet, I don't see any usage of filler words. Only utter she has repeated twice. Apart from that, there was no usage of filler words. And coming to Ashwin, he has used beyond 10 times. And our table topics speakers, Ayush has used 12 times. Saurav, he repeated the words after and a couple of times. And next table topic speaker, Rupeksha, she has used 2 times. And our counter, Vinu, he has used more than 10 times. And so he has used a couple of times, and he has used more than 4 times. Over to you, Mayur. Toastmaster Mayur.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vinu, for your report. Now I would like to move ahead with our grammarian of the day, Toastmaster Vandana, to give her report.
Thank you, General Evaluator Mayur. So today was a wonderful day because our Toastmaster of the day chose English vocabulary as the theme. So all the words that came from the different speakers, which she used to introduce them, although she said it, but it was also contributed by the speakers. So some of the wonderful words that Deepa mentioned was elegance, nostalgia, quick, etymology, magnanimous, narcissism, boycott, invigorate, octogenarian. I am not even sure if I said that right. Quirky, serendipity, petricho, and some quotes that she uses: tide of commuters. Oh, this is by our joke master. Flutter in your heart, shattered into 100 pieces, quick thinker. So so it was really nice, Sudhir. I saw you attempt some nice words which don't come naturally in our normal way of speaking. Stellar, catalyst, and how you said admiration turned into respect. A few usages that maybe you can work on are, you said number of times they have fell. So you can say either say number of times they fell or number of times they have fallen down. And rallies, I think it's the way you pronounce rallies. I don't know how you pronounce it, but it's like rallies. And hair's breadth, yeah, it's the pronunciation. You can say it as hair's breadth. And a lot of us have an issue with, like we say opponent, so we say opponent. And yeah, so I think there was an introduction for Joseph Sir by Deepa, expatriate. I'm not sure because Deepa is so perfect. The expatriate, and Joseph Sir also just showered us with some wonderful words: gluttonous, nature nurtured him, heavenly bliss, quench your anger, destroy. So some corrections: destroy the nature, destroy nature. And you said gluttonous, but I don't know if you meant gluttony. And just one usage that you always tend to turn to is change this one. So you can say change this. Stick to that one. So say stick to that. And Ramanpreet, hold your tongue, enrich, unwholesome were some great usages. Only thing is, you said then only. Instead of you can say only then shall and continue. And you said line enthusiastic. I think you meant live enthusiastically. Ashwin, kudos to you for some wonderful topics. Are we on the same page? You can't judge a book by its cover. Fortune favors the bold. A storm in a teacup, calm before the storm. I think some of us still don't know what all of these meant. So it's time for us to brush up idioms. And cookie cutter was used by Ashwin and Deepa. I hope I didn't miss out on anyone else. That's all from me. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Vandana, for your amazing analysis of grammar of today's meeting. Now Nelson is here, so Nelson, could you give the timing reports, or shall I go ahead?
Mayur, Nelson forwarded the timing report.
Yeah, okay, sure. So I will
so
give
he
you the
said
timer.
everybody has qualified for the speech. So his timers report will be uploaded on the WhatsApp group.
Okay, so I have the details. So I will give the timing reports. So Vandana took is starting in 3 minutes. President DTM Milin 4 minutes 7 seconds. Our speaker first 6 minutes 55 seconds. Speaker 2 6 minutes 35 seconds. Speaker 3 7 minutes 20 seconds. Table topic for table topic speakers. Ayush took 1 minute 56 seconds. Guest Saurabh 1 minute 28 seconds. Toastmaster Rupsha Jain 1 minute 45 seconds. Toastmaster Venu 1 minute 17 seconds. And our evaluator primarily from Ashwini, Elysis and Srinam. They took 3 minute 25 seconds, 3 minute 20 seconds and 3 minute 30 seconds respectively. So all our speaker and evaluator were well within the time and all are qualified. Now I would like to invite our listener of the day, Toastmaster Sanchit, to take a quiz of the meeting.
Good evening, everyone. Now is the time to test all of you to figure out if you have really been keen in your listening skills today. Now, I will start off with the words that people recently learned as per the Toastmaster of the day has given us. So, which word did this person learn? Serendipity. Serendipity. Which one? Who learned this word recently?
Sudhir?
Sudhir, no.
Ramanpreet.
Yeah, Ramanpreet. Deepa, you're not supposed to tell. You're the Toastmaster of the day. Yeah, and next is, okay, Petrichor. Petrichor. I hope I'm pronouncing it right, if any of you know. Or okay, let's go for Kafafal. Kafafal is the right way of it.
Mayur.
Mayur, yes, yes. Good one, Mandana. Good, great job. Okay, now who is the inspiration for the first speaker, Sudhir? Who is this inspiration?
Sorry, guys. Am I odd?
Yeah, Sudhir. Go ahead and tell who's your inspiration.
Yes. So for me, it's Lee Chong Mei. He's a badminton player. He's a badminton player in Malaysia,
Yeah.
and so far the winner of 3 Olympic Games, and perhaps the only person in Malaysia who have been ranked 1 in the badminton games and everything. Yes.
Yeah.
So he's one of many of my role models. But in terms of patience, in terms of resilience, he's the one.
Yeah, great, Sudhir. Good. At least now we could reiterate your inspiration again. Next is this person was okay. Tell this person Ramandeep's profession and passion. What's Ramandeep's profession and passion?
Thank you.
I hope I'm audible. Ramandeep's profession and passion. Am I audible? I'm really.
Yeah, chartered accountant.
Yeah, Milind, yeah. Profession is chartered accountant. What's a passion?
Motivational speaker.
Kathak dance.
Yeah, someone said Kathak dancer. Great, yeah. And okay, this is the last one. If you can guess it, great. Okay, tell how many speeches did Deepa deliver and in how many days? This is the record apparently. So how many speeches and how many days?
40 speeches in 30 days.
Great, Ashwini. Yeah, that's it. And with that, I end my report. Thank you so much for taking part in this listening session. And I had a really wonderful time. Over to you, Mayur.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sanchit, for your role. Now I would like to move ahead to my reports. So today's meeting, I am enthralled by the vocab use from everyone. Everyone used very good vocabulary throughout the meeting, and our meeting started on time. And SA give his introduction. Then moving ahead with Joke Master. Joke Master gave very good jokes on train. And if you want to, if you will be a proton in someone's life, that will be good. Now, moving ahead with our president, as usual, he's rocked the stage all the time. Our TMOD started with some good words and whatnot. What if the theme is English vocabulary? So what we could expect? A good use of word. She explained everything why words are important in our life, symbol of ideas, picture, and everything. She also mentioned we got to know that meaning of words, nostalgia, boycott, and origin of those words. Now coming back to our speakers and evaluator, so I felt that uh, Ashwini, while giving his pathway introduction, why he was Sudhir was what he has to do. Ashwini has to give the detail and TMOD has to give introduction of the speaker. Overall, the speaker was used very good vocabulary as well. He used some transition words as well, and also his evaluator also mentioned that. And keeping in mind, I would like to tell him that if you could use stretch properly by standing, so you will be very good by using your hands expression and gestures, and it will be icing on the cake. You could also practice and record yourself so you will feel more confident in your upcoming speeches. I felt sometime you not able to connect the sentence, so that could also improve. Coming back to our second speaker, I'm fantastically, it was amazing speech he has given. I saw him standing giving his speech for the first time, I guess, and that is very well done. He used vocal variety, hand gesture, and whatnot. Good uses of words. Coming back to our third speaker, she gave a speech on looking at the bright side. As DTM Sriram mentioned is what she has to improve and what she excelled. I think one more thing I would like to add in that you used hand gesture like this. So if you could avoid that, that will be very bad, very good. And you used very good uses of vocabulary. So overall, the meeting went very well. And now coming back to the third part of the meeting, table topic. Ashwin, you are amazing today. I felt that, and all the topic were related to the theme of the day. And our first table topic speaker, first and second table topic speaker took the courage to speak on those topics given by table topic master Ashwin. Yes, they were stammering in and they can improve by speaking and attending meeting regularly, so they can improve a lot. Rupeksha Jain, she was analyzing a very splendidly, I would say, the topic, a storm in a teacup, and gave wonderful speech on that topic. So I would like to say one thing we can improve on now that it's 6:48. So we have to cut a little bit of our everyone role takers time so we can close the meeting before at exact time. That we can do. Also, the meeting went very well, and I would like to thank every role takers and speaker for their amazing speeches on inspiration, and it was kind of motivational session we had today. Like first speaker gave speech on inspiration. Then second come with connect with audience, nature's gift to man, and third title was looking at the bright side. So I was very happy that today's meeting was like motivation session of a kind. With this, I would like to hand over to our Toastmaster of the day. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day, Deepa.
Thank you, Mayur. So it's been a long meeting. Obviously, we have to take care of timings in the future. So I'd like to end with a single sentence telling that without grammar, we can convey something, but without vocabulary, we cannot convey anything. Over to the presiding officer, DTM Milind.
Thank you, Toastmaster Deepa, for excellent conduct of the meeting as an MC. It was awesome. So let's give a round of applause to her. I'm delighted, excited for the presence of our immediate past president and our current area director, Toastmaster Srinu. And he has something very good news for all of us. So let's lend our ears for him to hear from the horse's mouth. Toastmaster Srinu.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Milind, and all the role takers. What a excellent meeting. Looks like I missed this wonderful meeting. I tried, but I couldn't join. Give it up for all the role takers. Very, I enjoyed it thoroughly. And coming to my presence now, actually, my dear members of Speech Weavers, we are conducting Area B1 first ever meeting with all our clubs. I request to each and every member without miss, please join this area event. Then you may ask what is there for you, right? There is a world champion, Aditya Maheshwaran, is a world famous speaker, is coming for you. Then what? You may ask. See, our career is our image, right? Your image is your career. If you want to accelerate your career, wherever you are, maybe you are a fresher preparing a resume, or you want to be a lead, or you want to be manager, but you stuck somewhere in your career and you want to be a director, whatever it may be, this keynote speech will push you to the next step. Okay, I already saw there are amazing members already from Speech Weavers registered. I shared the link in the chat box. This is just 1 hour 15 minutes. Trust me, guys, it will worth this 1 hour 15 minutes. Please join. I don't want to take more time. Please consider this is a personal invitation, each and every of my friends in Speech Weavers, and register. I want to see each and every one. Yeah, with that note, over to you, President. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Toastmaster Srinu, for that. We all look forward for that excellent Aditya Maheshwaran. Just to add, he was a world champion and he's himself in a very senior position in a consultancy, world famous global company, where he advises on daily basis or the CXOs or very top level high managers to encourage and enhance their career. So here we have someone who's going to spend 1.5 hours for us for nothing. So that is a grab this opportunity. Don't miss this. So Toastmaster Deepa, is the ballot ready? The voting? You are muted.
I have received 7 votes. In case anybody else decides to vote, please quickly place your votes right now. The link is on the chat box.
Yeah.
The count is 8. I'll just wait for 30 more seconds because there are 16 people, participants. Anyway, I'll go with some of the unanimous results. The unanimous best supporting role goes to, with 50% vote, presiding officer DTM Milind. And the best role taker, TMOD Deepa. And we have a tie which is for the best table topic speaker between two candidates, which is Saurabh and Rupeksha Jain. Congratulations, both of you. And the best evaluator, there's 57% and 28% between the contending, the first two contenders. And the winner is DTM Shriram. I think now I have to tell the best auxiliary role player. It is grammarian Toastmaster Vandana. Congratulations to all winners, and most importantly, congratulations for every participant for taking up the roles and improving yourself in the process. Over to the presiding officer.
And the best speaker?
Later. It's Phoenix.
Oh, okay. I missed the important one. Thank you. Okay, the best speaker gets 50% of the votes, and the second best speaker gets 37% of the votes. The best speaker is Toastmaster Ramanpreet. Certificates will be passed out to you through WhatsApp. Congratulations to all the winners.
So with this, I conclude meeting number 577. You can continue to have your chat.
Thank you. I would just like to say thanks to everyone. Thanks to my evaluator for giving me such lovely evaluation and a good insight for further improvements. My takeaway from the meeting is the kind of voting is there in your club, because you have a voting for each, the auxiliary role players as well. We don't have that in Singapore. So that